Welcome to 3 Lanes number 70. Today, I would like to start with a message for nobody, for everybody, actually. And it's a general message, enjoy the time that you have. I got to know that somebody in the car community here in the Bay Area, uh, you know, passed away. And it is hard. I mean, he went out apparently in his terms, in his own terms. If you know Krog GT4 or Phil from the area, you know who I'm talking about. He was a very, very known person in the community. I got to meet him and talk to him once. I saw him in plenty of car events, but I only had the guts to talk to him once, mainly because it's out of the blue, talking to a random person. So I had the privilege to photograph his car and even his watch, which is cool. He was a great guy. We communicated through Instagram a couple of times, but yeah, just enjoy and take advantage of the time that you have. Today in episode 70, we're going to be talking about the Leica the Leica lineup, basically. All the product lines that Leica has and who the target audience is for those products, and we'll end it with a five forces analysis. So a brief overview of the whole company is Leica Camera AG is a German premium optics manufacturer. They are in Wetzlar, Germany, with roots stretching for more than 100 years, and they are known for developing the very first 35mm camera. For the fiscal year of 2024-2025, the company generated around 596 million euros in revenue, and this is their fourth consecutive record year. This is driven basically by the photo segment and the growing mobile segment in partnership with Xiaomi, which is a Chinese manufacturer of mobile phones, something that we don't get in the US. But their products fan out in six distinct camera systems, a sports optic division, and a expanding portfolio of lifestyle and technology products, including watches, home projectors, and premium Iker lenses. So if we start with the cameras, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be familiar with, or most familiar with, we can start with the M system, which is the rangefinder. The M system, and the current one is the M11 camera. The M system is Leica's oldest product line, and it was built around the rangefinder mechanism that was invented by Leica in the mid 20th century. The current flagship is the M11, like I mentioned, a 16 megapixel full frame digital rangefinder available in multiple variants. The M11D has no LCD screen and analog style experience. The M11P content credentials for image authentication, and the M11 monochrome, it's only a black and white sensor, which obviously only shoots black and white. There's also film cameras in the M family, the MP, M7, and M6, which remain in production. And these appeal to the photo enthusiasts that are more analog than digital. The target audience is purist photographers, photojournalists, street photographers, and series enthusiasts who see the value on manual controls and the having a slower pace in photography, more deliberate type of photos, and the brand's documentary photography heritage. The M11 body, the price is around for the price. Sorry, the M11 price is around the high $8,000 to the mid $9,000, and this plays it in the more affluent enthusiast and collector segment. Film and bodies have a separate collector audience, and the prices for classic like the M6 appreciate significantly on the secondary market. We have I'll add a table of the current M models available, the digital available on the post on the website if you're interested in seeing that. Next we move to the Q series, and this is a fixed lens full frame compact. So the Q3 was designed to get a broader audience into the Leica ecosystem or customer base. And this was trying to retain, not trying because I think they achieved it. They retained the optical excellence that's characteristic for Leica. It's a little more accessible. It has autofocus body, and the Q3 has a focal length of 28 millimeters, f1.7 Sumilux lens, 60 megapixel, and it can record 8K video, and is the top selling digital camera on Leica's current lineup, and was the primary driver of photo segment growth in the fiscal year of 2024-2025. One of the variants of the Q3 is the Q343, and it launched in September 2024 with a 43 millimeter lens, which supposedly has a more natural field of view compared to the 28 millimeter. The target audience for this one, we can say that it's the everyday carry photographer or enthusiast, travel and street photographers, Leica newcomers who want the brand's optical quality without having to pay the steep price of learning a rangefinder. Not the price, but because all of them are pretty expensive, but the rangefinder operation can be tricky, right? And this one is a little more accessible. So the Q series has notably expanded Leica's female customer base, and he has also tapped into the luxury lifestyle market, particularly in Asia. The Q3 retails at approximately the high $5,000s to high $6,000. This is post tariff in the US. Next, we move to the Leica SL system. This is a professional mirrorless full frame. This one has a different mount than the other ones. This one uses the L mount Alliance, and it's shared with Panasonic and Sigma. The SL3 has 60 megapixels, can record 8K 30 frames per second video, and let's see, it has a hybrid autofocus, targets high resolution professional work. And the SL3S, which is a variant which has 24 megapixels, the same 30 frame per second video, and weather sealing, is oriented toward hybrid photo and video professionals needing speed and weather resilience. The system integrates with professional workflows via Capture One and Adobe Lightroom tethering. The target audience, again, is the professional photographer and videographer in commercial, studio, and landscape genres who require autofocus reliability, video capability, and seamless integration with Leica's M-mount lens catalog. Also targets M-system users who need autofocus or video features the rangefinder cannot provide. So the SL3 retails at approximately $7,000, mid $7,000s to the high $8,000. And just to clarify, the SL3 does not use the M mount, but can work with M mount lenses through an adapter, right? So it uses the L mount. The SL3 uses the L mount, but you can use the M mount lenses through an adapter. Okay, just to clarify that area. Next, we move to the Leica S system. This is the medium format offering from Leica. And the S system is Leica's professional medium format platform, and it's built from scratch as a digital native camera, and it was designed to compete with Hasselblad and Phase 1. The S3 had 64 megapixels, This was the Leica Pro format sensor, ISO to 50K, 4K Cine video, and it is the flagship designed for landscape, portrait, and commercial photographers demanding the highest resolution and field usability of any Leica system. But the S system was officially discontinued in 2023, although Leica still continues to service these cameras and has hinted that they're going to have a successor eventually. So we'll see. Target audience: professional, commercial, fashion, and fine art photographers who need medium format resolution, a lot of pixel peeping, in a weather sealed, field capable, body comparable, and size to a DSLR. The S3 retails for approximately 15K to 19K. So start saving now, making it the highest price camera in the Leica lineup. Again, discontinued. Next, we move to the Leica Deluxe. This is a compact zoom camera and is a premium compact zoom camera featuring a 17 megapixel micro four thirds sensor, a Sumilux 24 to 75 millimeter f 1.7 to 2.8, which is the aperture, and a compact pocketable body. It sits below the Q series in the price hierarchy and serves as an accessible entry point to Leica's photo portfolio. The target audience for this one would be travel photographers, lifestyle users, and Leica enthusiasts seeking portability and versatility over the fixed lens Q or system camera commitment. Original price at $1,500, but the price in the US rose to $2,700 in 2025 due to tariffs. Great. So if you're looking at $1,000 camera, $1,500 camera, forget about this one. It's too expensive. But just to be clear also, that Leica's offerings are targeted for affluent consumers, right? So don't get discouraged if you cannot afford a Leica. There's plenty of people that cannot, but there's other cameras out there that might work for you. Next, we move to the Leica Sofort 2. This is an instant film camera, and it's available in different colors: red, white, black, and it's shooting to Instax mini format, which is an instant film. It has a 24 megapixel digital sensor and optional digital preview, and it starts around $389. It is by far the most affordable camera Leica offers and the brand primary gateway product for younger and new audiences. Target audiences, obviously younger consumers, gift buyers, casual lifestyle photographers, and brand curious user exploring Leica's identity without the barrier of flagship pricing. Also functions as a collectible design object. Yeah, sure. Next, we move to the sports optics segment, which is, binoculars basically. So the Leica Ultravid Black are binoculars. When we have a few variants of these, the sports optics is Leica's second largest revenue segment and comprises binoculars, spotting scopes, hunting optics, and range finding devices. So some of the actually product families include the Ultravid, which is a premium full-size and compact binoculars with Aquadura water repellent coating, targeting serious bird watchers, hunters, and marine outdoor enthusiasts. Trinovid. This is a classic design binoculars first produced in 1958, blending heritage optics with modern coatings. Monovid. This is a compact monocular for portability first users. So if you like portable stuff, go for the Monovid. Then we have hunting and spotting scopes. These are targeting hunters, field observers, and tactical users. By the way, in the fiscal year 2024-2025, Leica began addressing new target groups outside traditional hunting with the Ultravid compact color line, adventure seekers, city explorers, nature lovers, you name it. and is digitalizing the portfolio with infrared cameras and distance measurement tools. Interesting. So some of the target audience for this type of equipment is hunters, bird watchers, like mentioned before, marine enthusiasts, hikers, and luxury outdoor lifestyle consumers who expect premium optical quality and design aligned with Leica's brand values. Next, we will touch on the expanding lifestyle and technology segments from Leica. And it's because they have aggressively diversified beyond cameras. These newer business units each leverage Leica's optics expertise and luxury brand positioning. So we start with the mobile one, which is the Xiaomi partnership. And since 2022, Leica has co-engineered smartphone camera systems with Xiaomi, contributing Sumilux and Summicron optical lenses, Leica Authentic color profiles, and the Leica Lux app, which has over 1 million downloads. The partnership elevated in 2026 to strategic co-creation with the Xiaomi 17 Ultra as the first co-created flagship phone. The target audience for this type of product is the premium smartphone buyers in Asia, particularly in China, who want professional-grade mobile photography with Leica's optical credibility and aesthetic without purchasing a dedicated camera. Next, we move to the smart home or smart projection, which is home cinema. This is Leica's CineD 1. It is oh, and CinePlay 1, by the way. These are projectors. So the CineD 1 is ultra short throw laser TV, 80 to 120 inch screen, Dolby Atmos, and the CinePlay 1 is a portable 4K laser projector. These apply Leica's Summicron lens optics and Leica image optimization to high-end home cinema. And the target audience for these, it's affluent home entertainment consumers who value design aesthetics and optical quality in AV equipment, consistent with Leica's luxury Bauhaus design language. Next, we'll move to watches, which they have the ZM series. And the watch collection ZM1, ZM2, CM11, ZM12 draws design inspiration from the brand's photographic history with details like ruby crowns evoking the red dot logo that you can always find in the cameras. The target audience for this is brand loyalists and affluent collectors seeking lifestyle accessories that extend the Leica's aesthetic into wearables. We have next eye care. Leica produces premium spectacle lenses under its optical brand, applying its glass engineering expertise to corrective lenses. The target audience is premium optical retail consumers who associate Leica with lens quality and are willing to pay a premium for branded spectacle lenses. Finally, I would like to end it with the 5 forces, which we can start with competitive rivalry. This is technically pretty low, at least in the camera segment. You know, it's really hard to compete with Leica. They have control of the luxury niche that most camera brands actually avoid to direct challenge Leica in this segment. And within the rangefinder segment, Leica has no meaningful direct digital competitor. And in the full frame mirrorless arena, the SL system, rivals include Sony, Canon with the R series, and Nikon with the Z series, but they all have way lower prices than Leica, and technically they're in different segment. They have a different positioning as a brand. The closest luxury camera rivals are Hasselblad for medium format and Phase 1, which will be the ultra high-end commercial, but these target narrower professional segments. The Fuji X series competes stylistically for the premium compact with heritage appeal, but this will be against the Q and Deluxe, and within the L-mount alliance, Leica collaborates rather than competes with Panasonic and Sigma. So there's kind of no rivalry there in the mirrorless ecosystem. The there's the effect, I think, would be limited head-on price competition, because Leica's value proposition is brand prestige. That's it. It's like the Rolex of cameras, like the Porsche of cameras. Optical character is also offered by the brand, and craftsmanship, no spec per dollar. Next, we move to threat of new entrants. That will be really low. The brand equity accumulated over a century by Leica is, it's basically what makes it an icon. The precision manufacturing expertise. Their lenses involve manual assembly, ultra tight tolerances, and special glass types. And these require highly skilled labor and generations of institutional knowledge. The made in Germany situation, the majority of Leica cameras are manufactured in Germany, and this is a signal of quality for consumers. Established collector and community ecosystem, the secondary market for Leica gear, Leica stores, academy, workshops, and global brand community create switching costs and loyalty loops for the consumer. And as you may know, if you are into an ecosystem for a camera, it's hard to get out. You have to sell so many lenses, and you're stuck with it's not impossible, but you're stuck with one mount type or one type of camera brand. Uh, Also, another thing that makes Leica pretty unique, or the threat of new entrants low, it's the capital intensity. So designing a new lens system from scratch for digital sensors requires a lot of R&D investment, with no guarantee that there's going to be adoption for your product. So there's no new entrants that have emerged directly to compete with Leica rangefinder or luxury mirrorless space, and it doesn't look like there's anybody credibly positioned to compete with them at the scale that they are. Next, we move to bargaining power of suppliers. This will be moderate, and mainly because Leica's manufacturing is high-grade optical glass, rare earth elements for coatings, and precision CNC machining components, and the global supply of specialty optical glass is concentrated among a small number of qualified vendors and suppliers of custom glass types, and they can exert price pressure. But an industry-wide dynamic that also affects peers like Topcon and Carl Zeiss, uh, would affect Leica and this type of companies, right? But a rare earth material used in optical coatings are heavily China dependent, and creating geopolitical supply risk if anything were to happen, right, with China not trying to export these to at least Germany. But Leica mitigates supplier power through long-standing supplier relationships, high volume contract commitments, and in-house lens polishing and centering operations at its Wetzlar facility. The fact that Leica's primary competitor is itself, right, because internal quality standards. The competition is not external cost benchmarks, and this further reduces supplier leverage on Leica. So in when it comes to manufacturing, right, Leica sets the tolerance, not the supplier. Next, we move to bargaining power of buyers, which is low. This has to be very low. Individual buyers have essentially no price negotiation leverage against Leica. Some of the key factors for this is there's no substitutes for specific use cases. The M system rangefinder has no direct digital equivalent, and buyers who want it, they must purchase from Leica, right? Like, you can buy used, yes, of course, but the prices stay there. The prices are very set even in the used market. Prestige lock in. the social status and the social status of owning a Leica creates a non-rational purchasing incentives beyond pure functionality. So it's a luxury purchase. Let's put it that way. Inelastic collector demand. Secondary market data shows prices for certain M models appreciating 20 to 90% year over year, indicating demand insensitivity to price changes. This is ridiculous. The red dot tax acceptance, basically saying that buyers knowingly pay a premium. The brand's pricing power is very, very well established. But the buyer power is rising at the margins. So the red dot tax critique is growing louder among working photographers and younger creatives who migrate to Fuji, X series, or Sony as a functional substitute at a fraction of the price. Tariff-driven price increase in the US uh, accelerate the risk of this migration at entry levels. So there might be a slight risk for Leica there, but very, very slight. Finally, we'll move to threat of substitutes. In this segment, the threat of substitutes, I would argue that it's moderate to low, right? There's always been threat of substitutes for Leica, but I think Leica has been gaining popularity, and we can argue that, oh yeah, the smartphone is a threat for the digital camera, but not really. A lot of times you can get pretty good pictures, but you can still distinguish a phone photo, or yeah, especially because of the angle, the distortion of a phone. Yeah, you can buy um, a lens that's attached to the phone to make it look more natural, blah blah blah. But still, I think to get quality photos and a really dedicated device, it's needed. So it could be a digital camera, or it could be a film camera, whatever you call it. But I think Leica has been gaining a lot of popularity recently, especially with newer generations. And the threat of substitutes, yeah, it is there, but it's very low. Medium format, we have a competition from Hasselblad and Fuji with the GFX. For sports optics division, we have Swarovski binoculars or Zeiss, which offer similar offerings as Leica. For the Sofort, the instant photography camera from Leica, we have a Fuji with the Instax and Polaroid that have similar offerings. But when it comes to the M or the Q, those are hard to compete with. And I don't see a competitor, like we mentioned before, uh, at least within the camera substitutes, that can go for Leica. Yes, the phone might be one, and maybe that's why Leica is dipping their toes with the Leica Lux app and with Xiaomi to to see what they can develop there and don't die just by denying the technology. But the substitute, I think the main threat will be the cell phone in that situation. That's what I have for today. One correction that I want to do from the last episode. At the beginning, I said 9, 11, 12, referring to the Porsche 912. What a noob. Yes, that's a big, big, big mistake I made. I said it a couple times actually, so I'm glad nobody has said anything. But yes, that was a mistake. And finally, I would like to leave it to congratulate Christian on his newborn baby. Congrats on the new dad. So yes, that's what I have. I will see you next time. I'm already almost 30 minutes, man. I'm blabbering too much lately, but thank you. I appreciate your time. I will see you next time.